I couldn't get anything done here this morning, just waiting for you to show up. Oh, I just can't wait to see you.
Oh, it's really good to be back. Well, now that I'm here, how do I look?
Better than ever. Oh, it's so good to see you.
Oh, wow. Well, and now that we're throwing compliments around, you look pretty terrific yourself.
Well, I'm just starting to get used to everything now that, you know, everything's over with Greg. And...
Wait, hold it right there. Why don't we make a pact?
What kind of pact?
Well, we both have done some things in the past that we would rather forget. So why don't we do just that? Just forget them and not talk about them and just look ahead to the future.
I'm all for that.
Okay. And speaking of looking ahead, I understand there's a certain Ross Marlowe who's been spending a lot of time with you lately.
Well, he helped me find your apartment.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to seeing him to thank him. It's very nice.
Well, I'm glad you like it. Anyway, I haven't been seeing as much of Ross as I used to, but I think that's because an old girlfriend of his is here in Springfield, and was somebody he almost married. I think that's probably why.
Oh, well, you don't know. I mean,
well,
it
listen,
might not be the reason.
I mean, I didn't mean to bring it up. I'm not just sitting around feeling sorry for myself or anything like that. So come on, just drop it, and we're just going to go out and have up conversations at lunch and everything.
Okay, where are we going?
Oh, just some little restaurant that Ed took Laney and me to. Oh, you'll love it.
Well, Rita, welcome home.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Hello, Eve.
Hello.
Well, Hope was telling me how marvelous you were looking. I must say I agree.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, and by the way, congratulations. Ed told me about your beautiful wedding.
Oh, thank you. It only improved since the ceremony.
Good.
Evie, is Jackie here?
No. As a matter of fact, she went over to Justin's because she wants to fix lunch for Philip. So she should be back soon if you want to wait.
Oh, I'm afraid I can't. I'm running late as it is. When she gets back, would you have her call me at my office?
Oh, sure.
Thank you. Oh, and Rita, since we're neighbors again, I think we ought to get together and have dinner and drinks one evening.
I'd like that very much.
Wonderful. I'll have Hope call either you or Ed.
Good. Good.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Goodbye.
From what he said, he thinks Ed and I are living together.
Well, you should have said that you weren't.
Oh, it's so embarrassing to try to explain all that.
Well, why should it be?
Because most people, especially someone like Alan, assumes that you're either married and sharing the same bed or you get a divorce.
Look, I'm really sorry to bother you with all my problems, but since you and I are both newlyweds, I thought...
And we also like each other very much. At least that's the way I feel.
Oh, I do too, and I really hope that we're going to be very good friends.
Any good friend of Ben's is a friend of mine. Hope, I know how close you two were at one time. And I know how much Ben thinks of you. So please, don't think that you're bothering me for a minute because you're not.
Oh, thank you.
So, what's the problem?
So I tried to talk to my grandmother about this, and she's very nice, but...
She's still your grandmother, right?
Right, right. And you know Alan a lot better than she does.
Oh, I don't profess to know Alan all that well. I mean, we do spend a lot of time together because of business. And there is one thing I do know, though.
What's that?
I've never seen a man change as much as Alan has since you've been married. He adores you.
And I adore him, too. I mean, I never even knew I could love somebody the way I love Alan.
But, Hope, you came over here very upset and you needed someone to talk to, and I am more than willing to listen and help if I can.
It's Vanessa Chamberlain.
What about her?
Well, come on, you know what she's like. I mean, I saw the expression on your face at your dinner party the other night when she's hanging all over Ben.
Yeah, Vanessa is not one of my favorite people, no. But I think her flirtations are harmless.
Oh, well, that's what Alan keeps trying to convince me of every time we have an argument over her. But look, to tell you the truth, that woman makes my blood boil. I just don't trust her.
Has she given you any reason to feel that way?
I thought she had. But then Alan and I had this long discussion about it this morning, and he convinced me that it was all an innocent misunderstanding.
Then I'm sure it was.
Wait. This morning, I was going through Alan's suit to send it to the dry cleaners. This is the suit he wore last night when he was with Vanessa.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going through his pockets, and I found his handkerchief. And it had a lipstick mark on it, and it wasn't my lipstick.
Did you tell Alan about it?
I wanted to. I wanted to demand an explanation right away, but I was afraid I was going to start another one of those horrendous arguments we have.
Hope, if you are this upset about it, you're just going to have to take that chance.
Oh, Amanda, I love Alan so much. If I were to drive him away because of all of my nagging jealousy and doubts, I'd never forgive myself. But on the other hand, I have to know what's going on. I mean, what would you do if you were me? I mean, please help me.
Well, that's too bad, Mike. I thought you would be coming home tomorrow. Paris? Why are you going there? I thought all your business with Holly's daycare center was in Switzerland. Oh, really?
Hi, Justin.
Hi, Bert.
Do you know if Ed's going to be on the phone much longer?
Yeah,
I really don't know. He's talking to Mike.
going with you?
Oh, really? Michael called Morgan Richards last night to wish her a happy birthday, and I got to talk to him for a few minutes. So tell me, how's Elizabeth? Have you heard from her?
No, I haven't. And I don't
And he's
expect
going to
to.
let you look
When
at
I
it.
talked to her psychiatrist, she explained to me the reason
Mike,
that Elizabeth went to Europe was to cut herself off completely from everyone and everything here in Springfield. Make better progress that way.
Yeah. Well, Philip must miss her very much.
Yes, he does, and that's why I wanted to talk to Ed about rescheduling, so I can spend as much time as possible with Philip.
Well, who's with him during the day when you're here?
Jackie, and I must tell you, she has turned her whole life upside down in order to help.
Well, I'm sure Elizabeth won't be gone very much longer.
I hope you're right, Bert.
Okay, Mike, I'll tell her. And just let us know when you're coming back and exactly the time, and give us a call about that, okay? Yeah. Right, you too. Bye, Mike.
Well, isn't he coming home tomorrow, dear?
No, he's going to Paris with that same lawyer that handled the daycare center for Holly.
Oh, I see.
Justin, you're aware that Mike has been working on finding some evidence to implicate Alan Spaulding with Roger.
Yes, I know. Is he on to something?
Well, that same lawyer that handled the daycare center for Holly that I just mentioned was also Roger's legal counsel when he was living in Europe as Arthur Green. And that lawyer told Mike that he has a whole file full of business records and business correspondence and personal notes of Roger's, including some notes that explain how those large sums of money were transferred from America to Roger's account in Paris.
Honey, did Michael say that Alan's name was in any of these papers?
No, but I've never heard Mike so excited. He just told me that when he comes home, he might just have the evidence that he's been waiting for.
And now, the award-winning Guiding Light. This portion is presented by Bounce. It gets clothes soft, free of static cling, and gives them long-lasting freshness. And by Cascade, the detergent that leaves dishes virtually spotless.
Thank you.
Would you like to order now?
I think we'll just enjoy our wine a while, and then after that we'll look at the menus.
Very well.
So, here's to your homecoming, and to things working out with you and Ed.
I'll drink to that. Couldn't believe it when Holly said the wedding was canceled.
I know, so suddenly, too. I'd already put their gift in the mail.
Why didn't you tell me about it when we spoke on the phone?
Well, we'd only talked a couple times, you know, after I heard about it.
It doesn't matter. You still could have told me.
Well, I would if Ed hadn't been there in Bluefield. So but Holly asked me not to because she wanted to be the one to explain it to him.
I just wonder how much of her decision was based on her feelings for Ed.
Oh, come on, don't talk that way. Because whatever Holly's feelings are for Ed, it's obvious that he doesn't have the same ones. I mean, otherwise he never would have gone to Bluefield to get you to come back.
That was before he knew the wedding was off.
Listen, any man who didn't give up when you after you didn't come back when you were supposed to is a man who knows definitely what he wants out of life.
I don't know. Every time he talks about the two of them and the time they spent down there in the Dominican Republic, he talks about how much they have changed in ways that he couldn't possibly explain.
Well, he explained it pretty well to me. He told me that after Roger's death and everything else that happened down there to the three of them, that he'd come to realize how precious life was. And how he promised himself he'd never waste another precious minute of it.
I haven't really helped matters there very much, have I?
Well, that's why he got a little impatient with you and you didn't want to come back when you were supposed to.
Well, the last thing either one of us can afford while we're trying to find a way back to each other is to be impatient. It's just going to take time.
I wouldn't worry about that. It's the most patient man I've ever known.
Yeah, in some areas, but all men can get pretty impatient in certain areas of a relationship.
Well, I wouldn't worry about that either. I mean, things could work out in time.
When, Evie? Don't forget that's where all of Ed's and my problems started.
Look, why don't you prepare a schedule that works for you and Philip, and let me take a look at it, and if we have to, we'll make some adjustments then.
Thanks, Ed. I really appreciate it, except there's just one problem. I have absolutely no idea of how long Elizabeth's going to be gone. All she said in that note was a few weeks.
Leave the return open-ended, then.
I can't thank you enough, Ed.
You don't have to thank me. But may I ask you a question as a friend?
Well, sure.
I was in Bluefield when Elizabeth left for Europe, and I hadn't really seen that much of her lately anyway, but was her condition so serious that her leaving you and Philip like that, it was justifiable?
Yeah, well, I asked myself that question, too, the morning I came home and found that note. And after talking to Dr. Fisher and thinking back to how close to the breaking point she was, I realized that this is possibly her last chance to have some kind of a happy, normal life.
Well, that more than answers my question.
I understand Rita's back. How are things working out for you two?
It's too soon to tell, but we're both trying.
That's all that counts.
Hi, Justin.
Oh, hi, Holly.
Been looking for you.
Oh?
Listen, I'm going to grab this elevator. Thanks again, Ed.
My pleasure. Well, what can I do for you?
Steve has a whole list of questions, and you're supposed to have the answers. You got the time?
Okay. If we do it right now and if we do it in the snack bar, because I'm starved and I want to be free from having to have lunch so that when Rita gets here, I can take her around to meet everyone again.
All right, I'll join you for lunch.
Good.
Amanda, I don't know why I bothered you with all my childish little problems. I am sorry.
Would you stop apologizing? If I hadn't had my mother's new housekeeper give me some very sound advice in a similar situation, I would have made a terrible mistake with Ben.
You mean you were jealous?
That's right. And if Jennifer hadn't talked to me and made me realize how foolish I was being, the moment Ben walked through that door, I would have started throwing accusations at him instead of sitting down with him calmly and talking to him about it honestly and unemotionally.
Well, so do you think I should even mention the lipstick on his handkerchief?
Oh, Hope, I don't know. If it were any other woman but Vanessa, I would say yes. But Alan has already told you about his relationship with her, that it is strictly business. And I think you're just going to have to believe him.
Believe me, I am trying.
And there could be a very innocent explanation for that lipstick stain. I mean, some women do kiss men on the cheek occasionally, and there is no sexual or romantic reason for it.
I have noticed that Vanessa is very big in that department, too.
Yes. You're just going to have to see it as part of her character and not let it bother you. And if you can try to force yourself to be comfortable in her company, that will help, too. You're going to be seeing an awful lot of Vanessa because she's working so closely with Alan.
You know, I never thought I would say this, but I cannot wait for Diane Ballard to come back to Springfield. I will welcome her with open arms if it means that I can ship Vanessa back to Chicago.
Hope, you are going to be fine. Just rise above it.
Thank you for all your help.
Vanessa could never be a threat to you. Not when Alan loves you so much he can't even see straight.
Thank you. Listen, I have got to go. Thank you so much for everything.
Don't mention it. Oh, did Alan tell you that I spoke with him earlier and that I invited both of you over for drinks?
Oh, yes, and we accept. He was going to tell you when he met with you later on today.
Wonderful, but she's going to be here.
Oh, good.
Now, come on. Don't let Vanessa keep you from joining us tonight.
All right, I won't.
And besides, you'd be doing me a favor. If you and Alan don't show up, it will be me, Ben, and you know who.
Don't worry. You help me today, and I'll help you tonight.
And we'll help each other tonight, depending on how Vanessa's tastes are running.
Don't say that.
Hope, Alan adores you. And you mustn't ever let someone like Vanessa make you feel nervous or insecure for a minute.
Hi. I'm sorry I'm late, but I had some personal things to take care of before I could leave the house.
As in husbandly duties.
Are there any important messages for me?
No, not really, except that I did take the liberty of explaining to Laurie about our new little arrangement.
What arrangement are you talking about?
Touch of amnesia this morning, Alan. Don't you remember last night? You said that if I needed to call you, I should call Laurie, and then Laurie would call your house, because that way Hope wouldn't get all upset.
Yes, Vanessa. Well, a few things have happened since then, so I'm not so sure that it's a good idea.
What's happened?
Well, it's occurred to me that if Hope finds out that we've devised a code to communicate back and forth, she's liable to think something's going on behind her back.
Alan, don't complicate things. It was a foolproof plan when you thought of it. It still is a foolproof plan. I mean, unless you don't trust Laurie with business matters.
Well, of course I trust Laurie implicitly.
Well, then, it's all settled, isn't it?
Look, can we talk about it later? I've got to make some important phone calls.
Oh, yes, but there's just one thing before you go. I need your honest appraisal of Ben McFerrin. As an artist, I mean.
Well, I think he's extraordinarily talented. And from what Carter Bowden tells me, the direction his painting is taking now is going to make him very successful one day, very soon.
How soon?
Selfishly, I hope tomorrow, since Hope and I own 3 of his canvases.
Purely as an investment?
Oh, no. I like his work very much.
Well, then that's good enough for me.
Why are you so interested suddenly?
Well, because, darling, I have an appointment to look at some of his canvases later today, and I didn't want to call Daddy and ask him to buy something if it's not going to prove to be worthwhile.
You're going by the Bowden Galleries?
No. Ben asked me to his house for cocktails.
What?
What's so surprising about that?
Well, Ben and Amanda have invited Hope and I, too.
Well, how convenient. Do you want a lift?
No, I certainly do not. As a matter of fact, I don't think we should go at all.
Why not?
Vanessa, you're far too intelligent to ask that question after our conversation last night.
Ah, that.
Yes, that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some work to do.
I sure wish they'd given me a surprise birthday party like the one they gave Morgan when I was 16.
Don't we all? Thank you, dear. Oh, Morgan called this morning, and that's all she could talk about. And she's so excited that Kelly's going to be coaching.
She is? Mm-hmm. Well, you could have fooled me. Well, one thing's for sure, she certainly is changeable, isn't she?
Well, aren't all girls at that age, Katie?
No comment.
Hello, Bert. Katie?
Barbara,
hi.
Hi, Mrs. Thorpe.
Well, have you both recovered from last night? Not really. Katie and I were just talking about it.
Have either one of you seen Holly? I was just talking to Steve, and he said that she was with Ed.
Well, did you try Ed's office?
No, that won't do any good. When last seen, they were going to the snack bar.
Oh, well, I'll catch up with them then. By the way, Christina's going to write a little thank you note. She had a ball.
I'm so glad that you and Holly decided to stay.
Yes, well, we were too.
I think you would fine, but lunch is still a secret.
Mrs. Thorpe? Mrs. Thorpe?
Yes?
Would you like me to call the snack bar? I could save you a trip.
Oh, no, thank you very much. I'll take the stairs. I'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
The Guiding Light. This portion is presented by Squeezably Soft Charmin Bathroom Tissue and by Dawn, the dishwashing liquid that takes grease out of your way.
Well, I wonder why Ed and I never came here. It's really nice. The food was wonderful.
I'm glad you liked it. It's so good to have you back.
Thank you. And the next time you and Ross go out, you're both invited up to my apartment. I'd like to get to know him better.
I'd like you to get to know him, too. He's real different than any other man I've ever known.
I don't really know him that well, except, of course, from Holly's trial when he was defending Roger. God, when am I ever going to be able to accept the fact that he is dead and not wandering around the streets of Springfield threatening everyone who ever knew him?
You will. It's just going to take you a little time.
I mean, I can't even say his name still without shuddering, and I still have nightmares about all those days and nights I spent with him in that cabin before I...
Oh, now wait a minute. We have a pact, remember? We're not supposed to talk about the past or anything.
You're right. Anyway, I should be getting back to the hospital.
Okay, I'll just get the check. Check.
Right away, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hello, Rita.
Hello.
Eve.
Hi.
Hello. Oh, I hope you haven't forgotten that I was asking you to save some time for me so we could talk today.
No, I haven't forgotten. When you're finished, just give me a call and I'll work something out.
Good, thank you. Ed tells me that Tim is living at home again.
Right, and he'll continue to it even after he starts back at college because he's going to go to Springfield U.
Oh, really? I thought he was going to go to that college in upstate New York. What made him change his mind?
Did you happen to see the guest of honor at last night's party?
Morgan Richards? Oh, Tim has very good taste. She's lovely.
Here you are. Your table's ready whenever you are, Mr. Thorpe.
Oh, thank you very much, Val. Well, listen, we don't want to keep you, so go.
Bye-bye.
Well, have a nice lunch.
Thank you, and I'll talk to you back at the hospital.
Okay.
See you soon.
Bye.
Well, I don't want any arguments from you about this. This is my treat. What's the matter?
No, you know, I was just thinking, I bet Sarah never looks at me without thinking about all the talks we had about Greg and how I cheated on Ed behind his back.
Listen, you and Sarah were very good friends before that, so I'm sure she's not thinking that way.
I know, but she was a friend of Ed's and respected him long before she ever knew me, so I don't see how she can help but think of me as the woman who cheated on him and hurt him so. Well, if you paid that check, I think we should get going, huh?
Sure.
Now, you keep saying nothing's wrong, but you haven't said 2 words since you sat down.
Oh, as I told you before, I'm exhausted. I think doing all the shopping that I had to do this morning and all this heat.
Did you take Christina shopping with you?
Oh, no. Mary Louise wanted her to come over, and then Mary Louise's mother called and asked if she could stay for dinner and maybe spend the night, and I said yes. Is that all right?
Of course.
I was amazed to see how much she'd grown when I saw her again last night.
She certainly was thrilled to see you. I hope you come over for dinner soon.
Well, thank you, Barbara.
Why don't we make a date right now?
Well, actually, with my lectures at the university and everything, it's kind of hard for me to make any definite plans these days.
Mother, with Rita back, Ed's not going to have much time for that. It's going to be very busy now.
Yes, of course, I don't know where my mind is.
Well, I'm certainly never going to be so busy that I won't see Christina, or either one of you for that matter. It's just that I've taken advantage of your hospitality so often lately that maybe we should make a dinner at my place next time.
Won't that be too much trouble for you?
That's certainly the least I can do to pay you back for all the evenings I spent at your house while Rita was away.
You don't have to pay me back for anything. You know, I think I've always thought of you as one of my sons, just like Ken and Andrew, and I guess I always will.
All right, now, while I'm on vacation, I'll be referring all my cases to Joe Myers.
All right. I bet you're looking forward to this vacation to get started.
I am going to get on that elevator, drive home to pick up Philip, and then I'm not going to stop driving until I get up to the mountains to that cottage I rented.
Sounds like a dream come true. Aren't you forgetting somebody, though? Your wife? She is going with you, isn't she?
Well, unfortunately, Elizabeth is out of town right now, taking care of some personal business.
Oh, that's a shame.
Well, I rented the cottage for the entire summer, so once she gets back, she can move up there with Philip, and then I'll go up there on the weekends.
Well, that's good. I know she was pretty excited when you went looking for the place.
If anyone's looking for me, I'll be back in around half an hour.
Okay, is there a number I can get in touch in an emergency?
I'll be at Jackie's shop.
Okay.
Hi, Sarah. Hello, Justin. How are you?
I wanted to ask you if you'd arranged your schedule yet with Ed.
Well, I worked out something that sort of works for me, but I have to get Ed's approval.
Oh, well, if you need any help, please just call me. And I don't mean just with the scheduling. If you need help with Philip, I'll be glad to.
Well, thank you, Sarah. I really appreciate that.
Justin, this may be a little premature, but I got an interesting phone call from Paul Klickner, head of the Association of Cardiology.
Yeah, I met Paul in London. What do you want?
Well, he wanted a detailed report on your service record here at the hospital, especially your work in cardiology. Seems a lot of people at that convention were very impressed by you.
Is there an opening in the association that you're up for?
Well, Jackie's father, Emmett, told me I'm being considered as Paul's replacement, but I doubt it.
Well, why not? I mean, you're highly qualified.
Well, they've usually gone with an older and more experienced man as president, so.
Well, that may be true, Justin, but, well, a lot of people were still impressed by your record there. By the way, have you heard the rumor that Paul Klickner is about to retire?
I know. Well, who knows? Keep me posted, huh?
Do it.
Now I've got to go find out how Philip's morning went, so excuse me.
Call me when you get back.
Due to illness, the part of Philip Spaulding will be played today by Philip O'Reilly.
So, thank you, Mrs. O'Brien. And I'll call you as soon as the monograms come in, okay?
Hi, it's Aunt Jackie here. I have to talk to her.
Oh, Philip. No, you just missed her. She went over to her house to change and take a shower. Listen, you could wait here for her if you want.
Maybe I will. I have nothing else to do.
Why? What happened to your baseball game? Jackie told me you had a baseball game planned with some of your friends. And then after that, you were going to go swimming and...
Changed my mind.
Why?
Because one of the guys made a wisecrack and I hit him.
What kind of wisecrack?
Something about Aunt Jackie being there to fix lunch first while my mom went.
Well, I don't know if I would have hit him, but I would have told him to mind his own business.
I better be going now.
Philip, are you going over to see Jackie?
I don't know. Bye.
Philip! Philip!
With all the nurses we've got on vacation around here right now, we can certainly use your help.
Yeah, well, that's what Mrs. Tynan said, so...
Sit down.
Oh, thank you. I start next week.
That's great. Say, what do you say to our stopping off at a supermarket on the way and picking up a couple of steaks, taking them home, barbecuing them? After a nice, relaxing swim, of course.
I don't know if that's such a good idea.
Well, I can practically guarantee you that you won't have a surprise party waiting for you this time.
Yeah, I know, but Kelly's going to be there, and I'm sure he'll have some people over, and...
No, Kelly just called me after his last class, and he's going to be coaching Morgan Richards tonight. Knowing the hours those kids keep, I'd be surprised to see him walk home in the door before 3 a.m.
I do have to talk to Sarah, though, first, before we go.
Okay, it's 5:15 now. What time does she say she'd be free?
She said between 5:30 and 6. You don't have to wait, though.
I've got plenty of work to keep me busy right here.
Okay. Oh, could we stop by my house, my apartment, before we get to yours and pick up my bathing suit?
Oh, sure. Sure. I'm really looking forward to a midnight swim with you again. We used to do that a lot, remember? Look, I know it's wrong to dwell on the past, and I'm certainly not trying to do that right now, but the closer we get to finding what we shared when we first got married, the sooner we're going to be able to go on with our lives. So just indulge me in a little nostalgia every now and then, okay?
If you'll indulge me.
Grandma, why don't I ring for Emily and get us some more lemonade?
Oh, no, thank you, darling. I'm fine. Do you and Alan spend a lot of time out here on the terrace?
Well, yes, it's my favorite part of the house.
Well, it's perfectly beautiful, and the flower garden, it's just exquisite. I can see why you love it so much.
Well, another reason I like it so much is because we live so close to Uncle Ed. You know, at the party last night, there was so much confusion going on that I never got to ask you how Uncle Ed feels now that Rita's back.
Well, he's fine, but I didn't come over here to talk about Ed and Rita. I came over to find out what happened to you after you left Ed so upset last night.
Oh, Grandma, I was just being so childish and foolish, everything. And Alan and I talked it all over, and I'm just going to have to learn to suppress all my little jealousies.
Well, I'm very glad to hear that, because even a little jealousy can eat away at the foundation of a marriage, and I'd hate to see that happen to you and Alan.
I know. I'm just going to have to learn how to control all my little insecurities, even if it kills me.
Well, I don't think the situation will ever become that drastic.
I hope not. Now, can I ask you about Ed and Rita?
Yeah, well, it's a little early to tell, but Ed does feel that he's very optimistic that he and Rita will be able to work out their differences.
I'm so glad. I really respect Uncle Ed for trying to hold his marriage together. I know I would do anything to hold mine together.
Well, from what you've just told me, you don't have to worry about that.
Thank you. I'm going to ask Alan if we can call Uncle Ed when we get back tonight and invite him and Rita over for dinner sometime soon.
Oh, I'm sure they'd love to come over. Where are you two going tonight?
Oh, we're just going over to Ben and Amanda's for cocktails. And Vanessa Chamberlain will be there tonight.
Well, you have made a lot of progress, haven't you?
You bet I have.
Well, have a wonderful time, dear, and I'll talk to you soon.
Oh, listen, Grandma, if you wait a little while, I can drive you.
No. It's all right, dear. I better get going, and Alan will be home any minute, and you two have to get ready for tonight. I'll be fine.
Listen, I just want you to know
what?
That even though Alan and I talked out our problems about last night and resolved it, I never could have gotten through it if it hadn't been for you.
Well, I'm here whenever you need me.
Thank you. What time is my father's plane getting in tomorrow from Switzerland?
Well, darling, there's been a little change of plans.
Did he call?
Yes, he called and talked to Ed, and he said that he's going to stop in Paris on his way back.
Oh, I see. I remember when René Dubois died, he had said that he wanted to go visit the little village where she was going to be buried. I guess that's why he went to France. Grandma, I hope that his friendship with Jennifer Richards develops into something more serious. I really like her.
Yes, I do, too.
Well, Bert, what a nice surprise.
Well, hello, Alan.
Well, you're not leaving?
Yes, I have to get home.
Well, I tried to talk her into letting me drive her, but she's being very stubborn about it.
Don't be silly. I'll take the bus. It's no problem, really.
Nonsense. I have a car and driver outside. He'll take you home.
Well, thank you very much, Alan, but I'm warning you, I could easily become accustomed to that kind of luxury.
Well, that's fine with me.
Thank you.
Nice to see
you, too. Bye, darling. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Has anybody ever told you how kind and considerate you are?
Not recently. I'm glad you think so.
Well, I do. Why do you have a car and a driver tonight? Aren't we just going over to Amanda's and Ben's?
Why don't we do something special tonight? There's a little French restaurant on the way to Indian Lake that I hear is fabulous.
Well, couldn't we go over there after?
Actually, I told Amanda not to count on our being there.
Well, why? I was looking forward to it.
Well, so was I, but they've invited Vanessa, too.
Well, I know.
You do?
Yes, I saw Amanda earlier, and she told me.
And you still want to go?
Not only do I want to go, but I've asked Emily to draw my bath and to put a double dose of bath bubbles into it. And then I am going to pour myself into that slinky little dress I bought in San Francisco and haven't had the nerve to wear.
Can't wait to see you in it.
And I can't wait for Vanessa to see me in it. Why don't you come up a little later and burst some bubbles?
Stop stalling, Katie. I've got to have Steve scheduled for the next 2 weeks.
I'm not stalling. I just want you to suffer with the rest of us.
Oh, come on. I'm getting out half an hour earlier than
I
you.
know.
Hand it over.
Under your nose. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Hello, Holly.
Hi, Justin.
Katie, get a hold of Sarah McIntyre. See if she can find someone to fill in for me for the next couple of hours.
All right. I also called Dr. Bauer and told him that you had called in and said you were going to be a little late.
Oh, yeah. Look, I'm sorry I didn't call him back, but I ran into a personal emergency that's taken up all afternoon, and it still hasn't resolved itself.
Justin, can I help you with anything?
Oh, thanks, Holly. It's something that I really have to deal with myself.
I'll call Dr. McIntyre, okay?
Okay, great. Yeah, Jackie, it's Justin. No, not a sign of him. Well, I drove all over Springfield. Well, I went home and waited there, but there was no sign of Philip. Yeah. Well, I'm at the hospital now trying to get someone to fill in for me for the next couple of hours so I can go out and look again. Jackie, will you stop blaming yourself? How did you know that there was going to be a change in Philip's plans this afternoon? Look, it's 5:30 now, so why don't I go back to the house and... No, I tried to call Alan. That's the first thing I thought of. No, Philip's not there. Yeah, I called Lori, and she hadn't seen him either. Well, I don't know what he's up to. All I know is that we have to find him. Yeah.
Rita, hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm just fine. How about yourself?
Fine. Finished for the day? Yeah, Ed told me you'd be stopping around saying hello to everybody.
Yes, and now I'm waiting for Sarah to get finished with the patient.
Oh. Well, I'll see you one of these days.
Holly, I know you're probably in a hurry to get home to Christina, but if you have a couple minutes, I have something I'd like to say to you.
I'm sorry about this, Vanessa. I just wanted to get things organized before Hope and Alan arrived.
Nonsense. I'm the one who should be apologizing to you. But as you very well know, Alan was so eager to get home to Hope that our business meeting was cut short before it should have been. And then I just couldn't see driving all the way over to Springfield Towers and driving back here, so I just...
Well, I should get the hors d'oeuvres in the oven and get some ice. Excuse me.
Amanda? Now, I know that in this painting, Ben was eager to capture the essence of the Midwestern plains, but why did he make the sky such a deep purple?
I don't really know. I guess you'll have to wait for Ben and ask him yourself.
Where is the artist in residence, anyway?
My mother has a new housekeeper, has a 17-year-old daughter. Ben's been dying to paint her ever since he met her.
How interesting.
Anyway, he's setting up schedule with her right now. Should be back soon.
I must say, I don't know how you artist wives do it, sitting around calmly all day long while your husbands are out working for hours on end with beautiful, beautiful models.
Well, Ben rarely does portraits, and he works at home.
How nice. But you haven't answered my question.
Oh? I thought I had. I hope Ben comes home before Hope and Alan arrive.
Oh, there's no need for you to worry about that. Alan told me. They may not be able to make it after all.
Oh, no, they're coming. I spoke to Hope before you arrived. She told me herself.
Oh, good, I'm glad. I must say, it's very nice of you to turn my little shopping spree into a party.
Well, it isn't really a party. We've just invited a few close friends in. And you, of course.
Yes. You really are close to Alan, aren't you? I find that amazing.
What's amazing about it?
Well, it's no surprise or secret to anyone that Alan was devastated when his father's will was read and you were named beneficiary to the bulk of his estate.
I was shocked by that myself. But we both tried to make the best of it. I mean, after all, Vanessa, I hardly knew Brandon Spaulding. So Alan couldn't blame me for what happened.
Yes, it makes it all the more bizarre, don't you think?
Yes, I do.
Have you ever wondered why he left you all that stock and money?
I wonder about it constantly, but I don't think I'll ever get the answers I'm looking for. Excuse me. Yes, may I help you?
I'm terribly sorry to bother you, but I'm looking for Mrs. Wexler's daughter.
I'm her daughter.
Oh, well, I spoke with your mother's cook up at the main house, and when I told her I was looking for Mrs. Wexler, she said that she was out of town, and she had no idea where she was or when she'd be back. She suggested I come down and talk to you.
About what?
Oh, I'm sorry. In all the confusion, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Logan Stafford.
This has been the award-winning Guiding Light. Fashions provided by Lily Rubin Salon, South Southwest, Janie Jamaica Estates, and Barney's.